All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Paws for Ability 7th Annual Service Dog Scrimmage. Thank you all so much for coming out today. If you're not familiar with Paws for Ability, we are a local nonprofit. We train and place service dogs for children and veterans with disabilities. We have been around since 1998, and since then we have trained and placed over 2,000 service dogs. And thank you. That surely would not be possible without an amazing group of volunteers, donors, staff, and folks like you who come out to events like today to support our mission. So if you're interested in learning more about Paws or getting involved, please feel free to take information at the tables out front or talk to any of our staff or volunteers here today. So today is our service dog scrimmage, and the plan is this adorable field. The puppies will be coming out shortly, and they will line up along the fence there. The puppy player coaches will put the puppies on the ground when the referees let them know it's go time. And the puppies will be competing to reach the end zone here. Will they get distracted by lots of fun toys and tunnels? Who knows? We're gonna find out. Before we call the puppies out, I just have a few thank yous. First, how about this venue? A huge thank you to Grace and the team at Athletes in Action. We are so excited to have this event in such a wonderful space. A little about Athletes in Action. They aim to help athletes experience the hope and purpose that comes from following Jesus and equipping them to use their platform to be part of God's mission in the world to make disciples of all nations. And we, again, are just so thrilled to call the John Wooden Family Fieldhouse home for this year's Service Dog Scrimmage, sponsored by Danis. Which leads me to my next thank you. Thank you so much, Danis. They sponsored the whole event and the litter through their Constructing Hope program. So if I could have a shout out to Danis, thank you. Thank you to John Danis and the Danis Construction in Dayton. Thank you also to Josh McClanahan, the project manager at Danis, and also a Paws board member. The Danis Constructing Hope program displays the heart of Danis, our people. Fostering a culture of community involvement, we encourage support and recognize Danis employees' volunteer efforts to ensure real needs are being met where we work, play, and live. Danis is committed to the true intent of our outreach programs to help historically underserved individuals succeed. This is accomplished through a focus on outreach, mentoring, and partnering to make a specific and concentrated impact. So thank you so much, Danis, again for your support. And then one last fun thing before we call the puppies out. If you were at last year's event, you may remember the coffee club litter. And believe it or not, this is one of the players right here. This is Mr. Macchiato. And Macchiato is here today to cheer on the next generation of the puppy players, but also to give some words of advice. So Macchiato, what would you like to share with the puppy players today? Good words of wisdom. Thank you so much, Macchiato. So, without further ado, let's bring the puppies out. The puppies today, they are going to be 8 weeks old tomorrow. They were born on December 8th, and they are full golden retrievers. They've been in training already at Paws since they were 3 days old to prepare to become a life-changing service dog. They go through about 2 years of training in order to become a service dog. They were named by the Danis staff and John Danis' family. So let's announce the puppy player sponsors for Game 1. First, we have Coco, sponsored by the Trailer family. Truffle, sponsored by 4 Dogs for 4 Paws. Ginger, sponsored by the Davis family. Honey, sponsored by SDA Studios. Dolly, sponsored by Happy Birthday Margaret. Winter, sponsored by Gravity Spa. Dozer, sponsored in honor of Senna and the Taylor family. Rubble, sponsored by Bark Strong. Dusty, sponsored by the KBC. So referees, you want to make the call to get this game started? We have a winner! Honey SDA Studios for Honey! All right, Honey! Congratulations to Honey and SDA Studios! Today surely could not be possible without our volunteers helping today, so thank you all so much. The puppies have been preparing for today. They've been playing on the tarp back at Paws to get used to it. They came to visit the staff here at Athletes in Action to get used to the gymnasium. So they're all ready, and we're very thankful for all of the help that went into today making it possible. So we're switching bandanas, and we'll get ready for Game 2. And who here checked out our new Kids Zone today too? Yes? That's brand new this year, and that was sponsored by Journey Advisory Group. So we're very thankful for their support. They are based in Covington, Kentucky. Okay, Game 2. We have Coco, sponsored by the 4 Paws at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Then we have Truffle, sponsored by 4 Paws at the University of Kentucky. Then we have Ginger, sponsored by L&W Supply. Honey, sponsored by Service Dog and Training Bougie. Dolly, sponsored by OPS Pro. Winter, sponsored by Canines at the Ville. Dozer, sponsored by United GMS. Rubble, sponsored by Happy Birthday Steve. And Dusty, sponsored by Miami Valley Golf. So I'll have the referees call go. Looks like we've got a foul on the play and we have a winner. Truffle. Truffle, congratulations to the Four Paws of the University of Kentucky on Truffle's win. Okay, so that's the end of game 2. The puppies, they can head back to the locker room, and we are clearing the field for our service dog halftime show, our service dog skills halftime show. And this is sponsored by the Four Paws for Ability Board of Directors. Okay, thank you, referees, for clearing our field. I'm going to pass the mic over to Julie George. She is the chair of our board of directors to say a few words before our service dog halftime show begins.
Thank you, Kaylin. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. My name is Julie George, and I've had the honor and the privilege to be the board chair of Four Paws for Ability for the last 3 years. Joining me here today is several other members of our board, Linda, Justin, and Chuck. There's a couple others hiding in the stand somewhere. I know Gretchen is here and Josh is here from Danis. So we are a very active board. We love Four Paws, and a lot of times what you hear around Four Paws is you come for the puppies and you stay for the mission. So I think a lot of people here in the room came for the puppies, and I don't blame you. That's why I came about 9 years ago, was for the puppies. So, but I stay, and I think the board members also agree that we stay for the mission. Our dogs make a difference in people's lives every single day, and we have an amazing leadership team, and we have an amazing staff that's with these dogs 365 days a year. So just want to give a big shout out and thank you for all of you here. We appreciate it. You want to get more involved? We'd love more volunteers, donors, etc. So again, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you to our board of directors. Okay, so I would love to introduce Leah and Leah's service dog, Pritchett. Nearly 15 years ago, Leah's world opened up with the help of her first service dog, Yodel. Now Leah has Pritchett as her protector to find confidence in the unknowns that come with epilepsy. Thank you so much.
Take it away. Thanks, Kaylin. Hey, it's okay, buddy. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for supporting Four Paws. It makes a direct and a life-changing difference in families like ours. This is Leah. This is her best friend, Pritchett. He's a little excited right now, but well, we're all a little excited to be here. I'm Leah's mom, and the rest of our family is here as well. Leah's dad, Dave, her brother, Eric, and her Nini, my mom, have come with us today, too. Leah's nonverbal, so I'm going to speak for her, and I think this is what she would want you to know about our experience with Four Paws. So, like Kaylin said, Pritchett is not Leah's first service dog. He's her second service dog. Her first dog, Yodel, we got when Leah was 5 years old. Leah has epilepsy and has had seizures her whole life, and so Yodel was trained for seizure alert. Leah did have a time period of a couple of years where she wasn't having seizures, and that just happened to be when we got Yodel. So we were a little worried about, would Yodel forget what to do and forget her job? About a little over a year since we had Yodel, Leah's seizures came back. And Yodel knew exactly what to do. These Four Paws dogs are just so well trained that Yodel was right on top of it. And she alerted to seizures for 13 years, up until even the day before she passed away. So we lost Yodel in March of last year, and we got Pritchett in June. And unfortunately, we still deal with seizures. So Pritchett is also trained to alert to seizures. He will come to Leah and sniff around her face and her hands, and he'll come to us and put his paws up on us to let us know she's having a seizure, which works great. Yodel barked, but the trainers couldn't get Pritchett to bark. So he alerts us in the way that he does. And it works great all the time, except for when Leah's sleeping, which is when some of the seizures happen. So the Four Paws trainers advised us to teach him to learn how to ring a doorbell. And so we put a doorbell in her room, one that he could hit the button with his nose and the bell would ring in other parts of the house. So when Leah would have a seizure, we would hear it. We'd run into her bedroom, show him how to ring the doorbell, and he'd get lots of yummy treats. And he was doing really well for a couple of months until we kind of felt like, well, we're not sure if he's ringing the doorbell in response to the seizure, or is it because we're coming into the room and giving him treats? And is he going to ring it like crazy just to get treats whenever he feels like? So one day just before Christmas, we were in the basement. Leah was in bed. We could not hear her, but we did hear the doorbell ring. So we ran upstairs, and she was having a seizure, and he learned how to do it on his own. And he's been consistently ringing her doorbell for seizures. Even last night, we went to bed before we even fell asleep. Doorbell rang, and we were able to run in and be with Leah and keep her safe. And so we're so thankful for Pritchett for keeping her safe too, and for being so smart to learn that new skill. We wanted to demonstrate that, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So we're going to demonstrate another skill that Pritchett has that has made our lives 1,000% better. Leah can get really, really overwhelmed. And when she does, she gets kind of noisy and repetitive, loud noises. And Pritchett can calm her down just by being nearby. And so this is a little bit of what he does. Pritchett, go to Leah. Pritchett. Yes. Good boy. Pritchett, paws up. Yes. Good boy. So he can calm Leah down. She's not crazy now, but he can calm her down with just a couple of minutes. And we're so thankful to have Pritchett in our lives, and we're so thankful to Paws and to all of you for your support. Thank you. I'm sorry, I talked a long time.
Oh, thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Pritchett. Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you for sharing that all with us. Beautiful. And coming in next, for those of you who attended last year, it's a face you recognize. We have Doug and his service dog, Alfie. Can I face you this way, sir, so everyone can see? Is that okay?
Please. Pretty please.
Doug's military service took him from Korea to Okinawa and eventually to Vietnam. Now returning for the second year in a row, Doug and service dog Alfie are ready to show you that an old dog can learn new tricks. Who wrote this? Alfie, who you calling old? Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Doug to share a little bit about Alfie and show us some of his tricks.
I want to say thank you for everybody come out for this event. It's a wonderful thing, and we need all the help we can get for Paws. Besides, you guys are sitting on a piece of history right here. This used to be a dairy farm, which was part of the main campus down there, which was the Ohio Soldiers and Sailors Orphans Home that was established in 1869. And I was raised here in this orphanage when it was still in effect. I was here from 61 to 68. And I went into service right away, graduated in June, and I went into service in September. Alfie, get over here. Sit. So I had a problem with PTSD, and my wife and I were at an event, and poor Paws was there. And she pretty much twisted my arm and made me go see poor Paws. So it wasn't really my decision to get the dog, but it was hers. Just as a happy wife, happy life, you understand? But I'm thankful for what she did for us. Alfie has been a game changer for me. He's changed my life. I had a problem with PTSD, and I was close to the end. And I thought I could beat it all those years when I was working. I worked on the railroad for 36 years, and I was a locomotive engineer, and then I went into management. And all those times, part of the things that helped me with my PTSD was being busy. Well, then when I retired after 36 years, things started creeping up on me because I had too much time to think. So I always had it at night when mine would come on. So Alfie after I got Alfie, things started to change. I used to sleep maybe 3-4 hours at the best, and now I'm getting 8 to 10 hours sleep. And the reason for that is I don't have the PTSD attacks I used to have all the time. And that's because Alfie comforts me so I don't have to worry about what the dreams were about. Alfie, over here. Here. Hey. He listens well. Alfie, here. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Oh, thank you. Down. And once in a while he talks to me. And did you want to say something to the crowd? Here, tell me. He said, thank you for showing up, and you're a wonderful people. And Alfie and I spend all our time together. I go to the VA hospital. I have to go. I'm over there a lot. And they know him, but they don't know me. I show up for an appointment, and you look up, and the nurse says, oh, well, Alfie's here. And there's Alfie. Hey, you with me. And he does things for me that ordinary people think it's nothing. But like, if I drop my cane, Alfie, give me a cane. Give it. Give me. Bring. Thank you. You're a good boy. And besides this cold weather out all the time. Come here. Come here. And you put your hat and gloves on. Sometimes I drop my leash, and I have a severely. Yes, thank you. He'll get his leash so I don't have to bend over and put any pressure on my back. What? Sit. Down. Do you hear that shooting? Are you dead? Dead. Up. And because it's so cold outside, he, shit, I forgot them. There they are. If I drop my keys, here, get them. Give them to me. Here. Thank you. I know it doesn't seem like much, but my back, I'm eventually going to end up in a wheelchair. Hey, what are you supposed to do? And he does a lot of things for me, entertains me once in a while. And what are you looking at? He's a ladies' man. Is there a good-looking girl around here? Heel. Here. No, over here. Sit. Now he's got a good attention span. What do you think? Okay. And when I'm at the doctor's office, we use a lot of hand commands because there's just so many people around. Like, Alfie, turn around. Turn around. Good boy. So, and there's different things he does for me at home that my wife doesn't like, but it helps me out. Alfie. Just so I don't have to bend over again. Alfie, get it. Up. Hey, up. Here, get it. Get it. The only problem is he has a hard time putting them back on my feet. So, and he never barks. That's one thing fantastic about Four Paws dogs. They never bark. But if I go down, then he'll bark. If I need help, he'll bark. You know, one time we was going from one doctor's office to the other at the VA hospital, and I was in between doctor's offices in a long hallway with nobody around, and I passed out. Alfie came over there. He's licking my face and he's barking. He'll bark until somebody shows up to help me. So, and there was an aide there, and he says, "Get this dog out of here!" And I said, "I don't think so." So he has to follow me all the way to the emergency room. Right? Sit. And when on some treatments I get, my wife Gail, she'll go with me, and she'll keep Alfie outside because he's not allowed in a sterile room. And then he'll sit and watch the door just like this and stare at me and cry like a big baby until I come back out. Right? Can you bark? Up. Bark. So, Four Paws is unbelievable. First time I came here when I got Alfie, he just turned 8 and I've had him 6, but he's going to retire sometime this year. There's his second best buddy, my wife, Gail. Alfie? Alfie. Hey. Alfie. Alfie. Here. See, now he's acting like my wife. Come over here. Alfie. Here. Turn around. Sit. You're a good boy. So I want to thank everybody for coming out. And if you ever have a chance to come to a graduation, you got to come because it's heartwarming to see not only if there's any vets there, but to see the expression on people's face that have a special needs child. And they finally got help that they need so they can continue to do somewhat of a normal life. You can especially see it in the mother's eyes. She just looks like, whew, I finally got some help to take care of this child. And it's just amazing, and they do an amazing job. And there's another group that I really like. The Barks are here. They do a lot of fundraising for Paws on behalf of veterans. And I've been going to their golf outings every year to try to help them with their fundraising there. They're wonderful people. They've done it for several years. And last year we had a great turnout, and they made quite a bit of money. So I'd like to thank the Barks for coming, and I'd like to thank them for all the things that they do for Four Paws. And also on the campus here, down by the flagpole, there is a museum. I'm a volunteer there. My wife's a volunteer there, and we're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If anybody would like to come in and see the history of this campus, so I want to thank you. I enjoy showing off for you guys, and maybe I'll be back next year with my new dog and see if he's as good as Alfie.
Very high. Alfie has set the bar very high. Thank you so much, Doug. Thank you, Alfie. I just want to do another shout out. Thank you to the prize baskets that the cheer ticket winners are receiving. Those are all donated baskets by the Bushnell family and Chuck from our board of directors, Gorilla Glue, and an anonymous donor. So thank you so much for the donations. We've got some really nice prizes for our cheer ticket winners this year. So right before we bring the puppies out one last time, we're going to reset the field to get all ready for the puppies. Thank you, referees, for making the field very distracting. They're bringing out the big stuff, some fresh pet treats to really distract these puppies for games 3 and 4. We're thinking the puppies must have worked up a little bit of an appetite. Okay, so let's go ahead and announce the sponsors for Game 3. We have Coco, sponsored by Forward Thinking Consulting. We have Truffle, sponsored by Gilman Partners. We have Ginger, sponsored by the Bridge Group. Honey, sponsored by Dayton Children's. Dolly, sponsored by Happy Birthday Mary Lou. Winter, sponsored by Senna and the 2023 Manatee class. Dozer, sponsored in honor of the Four Paws volunteer team. Rubble, sponsored by Amy and Jim Taylor. And Dusty, sponsored by the Abilities Connection. Okay, referees, I'll wait for your call. The fresh bet is being enjoyed. And we've got a foul on the play. All right, we have a winner. Who is it? It was a photo finish, and Rubble takes the win. Congratulations to Amy and Jim Taylor. Okay, we will go ahead and announce the sponsors for our final Game 4. Coco, sponsored by Forget Me Not Farm. Truffle, sponsored by Interior Supply. Ginger, sponsored by L&W Supply. Honey, sponsored by an anonymous supporter of Four Paws. Dolly, sponsored by the Adeyanju family. Winter, sponsored by Skylight Financial. Dozer, sponsored by DTB Distributors. Rubble, sponsored by Happy Birthday Becky. and Dusty, sponsored by Clark Dietrich. All right, referees, last game. We have a winner! Dolly. Okay, Dolly got it. Congratulations to the Adeyanju family on Dolly's win. As we're gathering up the puppies for the last time, thank you all so much again for coming out and supporting this event, supporting Four Paws. Thank you so much, Danis, for sponsoring the whole event and this litter. And all of our puppy player sponsors as well. Thank you so much to Athletes in Action for allowing us to have this event here. If you enjoyed today and would like to have more Four Paws in your life, I invite you all to come out to our next graduation on February 20th at Four Paws. That's a Friday at 3 p.m. Thank you all so much.